joined by Big South champion Longwood University, Coach Griff Aldridge, Isaiah Wilkins, and Justin Hill. Coach?
Yeah, I think today was just a special performance by the Lancers. I thought there was a real commitment to executing on both ends, particularly on the defensive end. I thought they started out the game. Over the past couple of weeks, I think we've really taken a step defensively where we understood that the key to our team is to be very strong defensively. And I think part of being very strong defensively is being extremely mentally tough and disciplined not to have mental lapses on our principles. And I thought today, I'm sure we had some, but I can't think of any. And I just thought they made it really difficult for Winthrop at the beginning of in the first half to score. And then, you know, we talk a lot about how things snowball, that if you execute on one end, you don't run over half court and magically stop executing. And if you're not executing, you don't magically run across half court and start being disciplined. And so I think that really helped our offense. And so I think we obviously shot the ball very well in the first half, particularly from three. But at the same time, I thought they were good shots by our shooters, most importantly. And I think just the discipline and the mental discipline and the mental toughness at the outset really helped set the tone.
Thank you, Coach. We'll start with Brian.
Isaiah, you've had a long college career, and I'm going to assume this is the high point. What was the low point? Was there a point when something like this didn't seem realistic, possible clipping that?
My freshman year, when I was at Virginia Tech, I actually had a chance to go to the NCAA tournament, and fortunately we made it to the Sweet 16. I think after that year, that's when things started going downhill for my career. But thank God that I found somebody like Coach Griff to come and pretty much swoop me out the transfer portal, and just allow me to get with these great group of guys and win this championship. So this journey has been really good for me, and I think it was destined for me to end up here.
What was his vision for your role and on this team when he recruited you?
I would say just to do whatever it takes for us to win. I think he allowed me to come here and be kind of a veteran leader. I'm a little older than a lot of the guys here, so just stepping into that role, I know where to be, when to be there, and I just kind of think the game. So I think just stepping into that role of veteran leadership is what he wanted me to be.
Here.
Isaiah, along those same lines, obviously I remember you from Tech. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Longwood was a program that had never been to the NCAA tournament. So when you choose Coach Aldridge, you choose Longwood, do you think that this is kind of where you're headed, or did you have a different goal or dream for this year?
I'm gonna be honest with you, I had no idea coming into Longwood University, but it's been a journey, and I've learned to embrace every part of my journey, and it's been a fun ride so far, and we're not done.
Was there one down here?
Yeah, Isaiah, it's just, you know, I'm sure one of the reasons you came here was you dreamed about a chance to play a key role in a big game, a big stage, and you definitely did today. Can you just talk about, you just looked real comfortable and cool out there today. How'd you feel?
Just kind of reiterate what Coach said. It's not really about me. We get stops, and when we get stops, we're really hard to beat because the offense is going to come. We don't really worry too much about offense. We know we have scores, but when we get stops, I think the score of this game really reflects that.
Justin, you guys were never up by less than 16 over the last 10 minutes of the game. It looked like your coach was coaching in a tie ball game. Is that just the way he kind of is on the sideline?
Justin, we still have some practice.
Yeah, I was about to say on the sideline and practice, everywhere. But yeah, that just keeps us focused and keep us going because, you know, we can just like say the game was over or something and stop playing. They could go on a big run, but we knew to just stay focused and stay the course, and everything will go fall in place.
We'll take questions for Coach Aldridge as well. Brian?
Griff, you may recall a certain crazy person asking you 4 years ago, why Longwood? So today I'll ask you, why not Longwood?
Why not Longwood?
I think Longwood is a special place. At the time, Longwood, when I first came here, is a community that I knew, a university that I was familiar with from having gone to school nearby, and the more that I've gotten exposed, not only to Longwood, but to the community of Farmville and Prince Edward, it's a special place. It's obviously when we recruit guys, we always say, look, if you're looking for a big city, that's not us. But if you're looking for a nurturing place that has really strong values of trying to develop, our tagline is citizen leaders. But that really meshes well with who we want to be as a basketball program about developing young men. And also I think it meshes, we don't want this team to be about us. We want this team to be about the university, about the community, which is, again, I think in line with Longwood's mission of developing students, citizen leaders, not for us, but for society and the communities that we'll go, live in after the students graduate. And so I really believe Longwood is a special place. We have so many wonderful ingredients, and there's a lot of, I've said this before, we've got a lot of momentum. Forget the winning, but the building blocks are there of a great university, great community, and I do want to say incredible support from our president. Taylor Reevely had a harebrained notion to hire, a former lawyer to be a coach, but there's been incredible support to really build a sustainable program, not just have a successful team. And so that's our goal, that's our mission, and for me, that's a calling.
We'll go here.
Griff, when David Teal came out to talk to you last week, you told him that part of the key to the roster was getting guys who fit, who loved each other in the locker room. What was your pitch to Isaiah, and did it include, hey, end your career with an NCAA tournament bid, or was that maybe not part of the dream at that point?
I remember saying I thought he'd be great in a manager role, but no. Our pitch to Isaiah, truthfully, we recruited him after he left Virginia Tech, and we got to know him a little bit just as a young man during that process. And he was just a fine young, just enjoyed talking to him, pleasant guy, and we knew he could play. And we say this a lot at Longwood, that there are plenty of players who are talented enough to play and be a part of our basketball program. But the question is, do they have the other elements where they really want to grow? As Justin kind of alluded to in his response to you, I said this the other day, we coach them really hard. We push them very hard because we want to stretch them. We want them out of their comfort zone so that they grow. And if you don't have a spirit and a mentality that you want that, it's probably not going to work at Longwood, at least for Coach Griff. And so a big part of that is trying to figure out, number one, are these kids about growing, and are they unselfish? And I think we've been very fortunate. Recruiting's a hard game, and I wish I could say, we figured it out. We of course have not. But we've been very blessed to find guys who are willing to buy into that. And then I think once you get a critical mass, the rest takes over. And, the guys who don't want to do that stick out like a sore thumb. And the neat thing about it is the guys who could go either way, the current takes them the right way. And that's been really neat for us to kind of observe, over the past couple of years.
We have 2 questions from our virtual viewers. Mark?
Coach, 60% shooting in the first half, 80% from 3, 18-point lead at the half, 21-point lead at the end. I know you're probably an ideal scenario for how this game would play out. Did this match it or surpass it? You guys seem to hit on all cylinders.
Yeah, I think for us, yes. I mean, I love the result. Our whole program is really focused on pouring into the root. And the thing that I'm really, faith is huge to me, and the results are going to be what they're going to be. And so we want to really, I believe God's going to control what the outcome will be. We need to just control what we can control and do our part. And so when I think about this game, I'm more impressed and proud of the guys that they had, I thought, mental discipline for 40 minutes. Because if we do that, win or lose, we can live with that. It's when you shoot yourself in the foot or you don't play to your standard, that's when you have regret. And I thought these guys really were tough from start to finish. And again, yes, had we lost by 20, I honestly believe I'd be saying the same thing, which is I'm extremely proud of how they played, less the result of it.
Beyond just the results of this game, clearly you maximized this tournament. You went the deepest of anyone. Can you talk about this event, getting everybody together in one site, the neutral site here in Charlotte, and putting the men's and women's tournaments together?
Yeah, and I'll, since the commissioner's here, I better be careful, but, I'll be honest with you, I was a little bit skeptical. I was really concerned that there might be some empty crowds and playing in front of an empty building or in front of an empty arena. And I think it's been a phenomenal experience, at least for us. I think part of that is our women are here too, and they're doing well playing tonight. But the other element here is Lancer Nation has come in force. And were a real impact, I thought, to the team in a positive way. And so I thought it was a special experience. I constantly told these guys throughout the tournament that I really hope that they can enjoy the moment. They will remember this forever. Some of my fondest memories are hanging out in the hotel room with my teammates during tournament time, and thinking about the game and watching other games and doing what college guys do. And so I think it's been a special atmosphere, and it's been a lot of fun.
Are you bringing the guys back tonight for the women's game?
We've got to figure that out. That I'd like to, but we've got budgetary issues and other considerations.
In the middle.
Coach, obviously with success, you'll have a lot of media attention. Every NBA job, bigger job, you're going to be mentioned for. And then
NBA job?
But you guys will be the media darling. How do you tune out put blinders on and just focus on the task at hand?
Well, I haven't told these guys, but I plan on taking their phones. No, I'm just kidding. No, I think that's really important. Charlotte's been. I've had an experience in Charlotte with UMBC, and the staff at that time really, after we beat Virginia, really kind of struggled with, how do we deal with this? Now it was a shortened time period, and so we've got mature kids. And they'll handle it well. And we will also learn from that experience, that, you got to stay grounded and stay the course. And the interesting thing about this team is that, as awesome as they are, we also beat the last place team by 2 points. And so we can play extremely well, but if we're not locked in, we can also play at a different level too. So it'll be really critical for us to maintain that mindset.
Here.
For both of the players, Coach just mentioned that he was a part of that UMBC-UVA game. How aware are you guys of kind of that story, and does that give you some encouragement going forward?
I'm pretty aware of that story. I might have been actually watching the game. So, I think we could be one of those teams, kind of like a Cinderella story. And I think if we just stick to what we do, stick to our principles, no matter who we play, we're going to play hard, we're going to get stops, we're going to score, and we'll live with the outcome, whatever it is.
Yeah, exactly what Zay said. I feel like if we do what we do and play Longwood basketball, we could just gonna let the chips fall where they may.
We're here and then back here.
Isaiah, just real quick, can you talk a little bit about, maybe Griff can chime in too, you went to the tournament with Tech, but the experience of being on a campus, you know, when you get back to campus, it's never been there. Students probably didn't even think they'd get to see this as long with students. Is that something that gives it a little bit extra special in terms of getting to the tournament?
I think it's definitely special. Farmville, Virginia is a small town, and it's not much you can do, but to see what we've built here this year is unbelievable. I think the ESPNU game we had against USC Upstate was the most I've seen since we started playing this year. And just to see everybody come out and support and see everybody communing with each other and having fun, and it's allowed everybody to be closer in the town.
Yeah, I mean, this year's just been incredibly special, I think, at Longwood. And credit the guys. Again, I think a lot of it goes back to their character. If you're a good guy on campus and you're in somebody's, econ class, and they're friendly and nice to be around, well, you're happier to cheer for them. And I think we've got some personable guys who are well liked on grounds. And then just to watch the transformation in Willett Hall this year has been really amazing. I had kind of seen some of that at Hampton-Sydney years and years ago with how the Farmville community kind of rallies around a local team. But I think we sold out 3 out of our last 4 home games. And again, I think it's a credit to the guys. I think they play hard. It's a fun style to watch, and then winning helps too.
Here.
Coach, you heard me ask Justin about your sideline demeanor for the last 10 minutes while you're up 16, 18, 24. I saw the emotion afterward when you're celebrating. Did you enjoy the last 10 minutes of this game, or was it just finishing another task and you enjoyed it after?
Yeah, I probably am too task oriented, and that's just how I'm wired. And execution is everything to me, and not everything, but it's huge. And we constantly want to hold the standard of excellence, and so honestly, if you came to our practice in June, I think you'd probably see something very similar. And I think some of that is my private sector experience, probably shining through, and having to kind of be on a lot, and also getting to watch high class organizations and individuals perform. They don't take days off, and they don't take plays off, and they don't take deals off in the situation. Everything was done properly and to a standard. And so I think that's actually a big part of our culture, which, and I tell these guys all the time, I don't apologize for it, because I want them to understand that for you to reach your potential, this is what you have to do. And that's one of the real treats for me as a coach, is to see guys kind of grow in that, and really adopt it and embrace it. So that's part of it. But I can't ask them to do it if I'm not going to do it. And so I would say that's the other big part. I expect them to be pouring into the root every single play. Well, then I have to as well.
Brian.
Griff, to kind of counter the seriousness, you had a moment after the game where the fans were screaming for you and you turned around and acknowledged them and went over and celebrated with them a little bit. You talked about the support they've given you. What was that moment like for you, just getting to celebrate with them?
Yeah, it's really special. I mean, again, I think it goes back to, you know, the Longwood community, the Farmville community. I mean, I can't tell you how many texts I've gotten from, to be honest, some are Farmville community members who have no real connection to Longwood other than living in the community, who've traveled down here to support us. And again, you know, we don't want our program to be inward facing. We want it to be outward facing. And so the fact that the students are having a blast and having an incredible experience. And as I was, you know, as the guys were getting ready, I was standing in the tunnel before the game, and the cheerleaders are walking in. It just, you know, reflecting on them, the band, what a neat experience for them as well. And that's what we hope that we can continue to build. You know, so that again, it's something, you know, bigger than just the 16 guys in a locker room.
Time for one more. Great. Okay, go ahead.
Sure. Isaiah, just as you kind of reflect on the journey, and you've talked about it a little bit, your game, the all-around game, the rebounding, the assists, the steals, to go with the scoring, how have you developed in terms of just as a player?
I think I've kind of always been that way. Since I started playing basketball since I was in 3rd grade, I've always been the guy who was kind of like the glue guy. I didn't necessarily need to score every game. I get a rebound, I get an assist, I'll get steals. I'll do whatever it takes to win. I just think at the end of the day, that's what it is. You just have to win.
Great. Coach, Isaiah, Justin, congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.